So this is just a little introduction, focusing on Sung tradition. So the Ifugaos have a, first I will ask if anybody has not heard of the Hudhud. Okay, everybody has. How about the Alien? Okay, some have not. How about the Hehewe? You've not? Okay. So anyway, we will see the whole big gamut of Ifugao songs here. Okay, the Ifugaos have a wealth of sung discourses. There are so many that from the ones I gathered between 1968 and 76 from the Ifugao folk in the villages, not in classrooms or, parties, I could group them according to whether they were labeled, titled, or untitled, traditional or inspired by remembered events, with indigenous melody or with melodies inspired by radio songs or other influences, intertwined with ritual, related to ritual or independent of ritual, narrative or non-narrative, that is descriptive, expressive, or other, accompanied by dance or instrumental sounds, or by other types of songs, or not accompanied at all. Sung by an individual, only by a group, or by a combination of a main singer and a chorus. Prescripted or spontaneous, there are many spontaneous songs. Male chanted, female chanted, or chanted by both or either. Now, in the history of Ifugao, there's a history of songs as well, okay? So these are traditional old songs, ritual chants, the Hudhud Alin, the Ketema, which is a woman's divinatory ritual, Tobwang for Bulu rites, Bayan, Hangal. You just read through alternating songs of reproach between male and female, lullabies, the Hehewe that I mentioned earlier, Taltalia, Ayuge, improvised and fixed commentary by a soloist with fixed refrain, joined in by a chorus, which is a very common form. Alternating chants with Liuliwa chorus, and Buki Buki Tagini, a famous song that kept being sung by many. Now, just an example is the Liuliwa. It is an indigenous alternating chant between a declarer and anyone who might want to rebut. The Batad Ifugao Dictionary, 1993, calls it a casual chant sung extemporaneously. However, Pedro Indunan, who wrote his master's thesis on the Alim, is an Ifugao, says it is a series, the Liuliwa, is a series of poetical or philosophical jousts, and is similar to the Balagtasan and the Ilocano Bukanegan in the manner of style of singing. Liuliwa cover almost any subject within anyone's experience, among lovers, love, courtship, and marriage, for old people, some forgotten custom and tradition, a wrongdoing or omission, ridicule, covertly said, praise or appreciation, insinuations or riddles that are thought-provoking. Once a Liuliwa is launched, it goes on endlessly, seemingly. The participants take turns in self-expression, and when one is at a loss for what to say next, others in the group take his or her place to save the situation. It may end before nightfall, or may continue till early dawn of the following day. By mutual consent, it is ended, to be resumed in another joust. Okay, maybe I'll not go to every example because there is no time, no? You want me to? Okay, so the Lele. The Lele is an alternating non-narrative song of criticism between men and women. Its content can be different every time, but its format is stable, just like the Liuliwa and the Salidume or Talidume songs. Hehewe is a traditional spontaneous lullaby. And there are morning lamentations which Lambrecht wrote about. I'll just give you a few examples, no? These are ritualized lamentations in Mayaw Yaw, which give us an idea of Ifugao's sorrow in the face of a kin, death of a kin, or neighbor, or wife, or husband, or mother, or father, and a small baby child. Now, the important thing about these things is that one captures the feelings that one would otherwise not be able to know about, if one did not listen to them. So this is the morning lamentation of a daughter over her dead father. Alas, surely, father, and you died, father. and nothing I shall see of you, Father. These are language translations. I shall see you no more, year after year, for you die. Just very simple, but so touching, no? The lamentation of a daughter over her dead mother. Mother, who will be my companion to get sweet potatoes? See, no more who will cook our food, for nothing we know, for see you die. And of relatives or neighbors over man or woman in the community. Alas, balang now, I suppose the name of the deceased man. Surely you died now. And nothing will come of you. You will no more come. No more of you year after year. And a wife over her dead husband. Alas, balang now, and we went to work to the rice field at Domang, and we worked with a spade. And you worked with a spade, and you died now. And no more we see you year after year, and do not get our children. So a husband over his dead wife, Magya, I arrived as I went to Bunian. I arrived and you were sick and you died. I am alone now, for you died. Who will get sweet potatoes for our food? It's always a sweet potato. Who will work with a dele knife to get sweet potatoes? For see you died. These are sung by poor Ifugaos. So, apart from the old traditional songs, we have the peacetime songs. Peacetime prior to 1941, and the common theme of resignation, and it has the common theme of resignation to one's status. Because in Ifugao you have classes, you have the dispossessed or the nawatwat, and you have the middle people and the rich kadangyan. Okay, so now the resignation comes from being poor and sometimes being the last child, nothing to inherit. So they were songs without refrain, some using American tunes like Rainbow Over the Hills of Colorado, an old radio song in peacetime. You know? Wartime songs show songs of sadness, regret, and madness. Songs of commentary on gambling, drinking, and womanizing. Self-pity, frustration, hopelessness, poverty. Kuyapi Igilotu, Isus Damdama Yamashita, was the mistress of General Yamashita. And there are many, many ballads or songs about that fact. No? So at the time when Yamashita was surrendering, or the Japanese were surrendering, she saw dead bodies floating on Ibulao River, and then she transformed herself into an arsenal, her whole body. Okay? Her mouth became a radio, her ears became her eyes became telescopes, her breasts became grenades, and her arms became rifles. Okay, so this is all. I didn't bring it; this is very long, and I couldn't find it right away. So, but it's a beautiful and very moving thing. There are also songs with various variations of Tuwali and Salidumay, commentary, which is a commentary by a soloist with fixed refrain joined in by a chorus. Now, Saliduma is said to have been introduced during the Japanese occupation of Ifugao and became pan-Cordillera. It was used as a means of disseminating dissimulated information and resistance against the Japanese throughout the Cordillera. There's Tulok, and this is a very, very important one as well. It is sung by the lead singer, joined by the audience in the refrain, and has many different narratives with the same format. Imaya at Luta is the most famous, okay? That means Imaya, who comes from Luta. Luta means lupa in Filipino, no? But that's the name of a place. For example, it is a song of critique and pity for a young girl, Imaya, who was a soldier's mistress and whose life was considered destroyed. It is a widely sung narrative with theme of incorrect behavior, community critique. Wartime songs give it, and this is an example that I think I will read to you, although it's a bit long. It is an advice given by an Ifugao soldier to his crying daughter and wife on the eve of his departure to fight the Japanese. He was conscripted by the American government, as he mentions. No? Stop, do not cry, continue with your crying and sobbing, child, because it cannot be helped now. It is over and done with. I have been given orders to fight for the government, the American government. We are going to up there to town where they spread and raise the flag, we will be marching onwards. In the morning, we will go to Solano, where the flag was raised up high. We're going to Bataan, which was full of Japanese. And now we're going to fight. Lucky if I should get hit. Lucky if I should get shot. For should I get shot and die, and you will surely be crying, just wipe away your tears and insist to get my pension after showing my papers. Use it for the expenses of our daughter, our offspring. Go buy her a woven skirt, thus to attract your in-laws. Do not act carelessly, for you are a commoner. If ever you're burdened by our daughter, then you can entrust our child to the care of your in-laws. Wait until you are lucky, until you marry again. No, that's priceless. Do I have time still? Okay. Now, this Dong Namong, it's a special song as well. It's nostalgic sadness because of separation. And that is clearly expressed in this common and popular Ifugao song I heard and recorded in the 1970s. If you ask an Ifugao for a song, it is likely that it will be this one when you are partying. As recent as 2003, during a sponsorship of an Ifugao festival in Intramuros, Manila, led by Ifugao Governor Teddy Badila, then Governor, the parting song everybody joined in singing was Nam Namong. Okay. Only the places mentioned in them vary. The version below is one I collected in 1968. Well, I don't have the Ifugao, but I could sing it. But the melody is like this. Nam Namong adim kaliwa, la 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 la. But anyway, this is the translation. Do remember, do not forget. Today, this day that's come, this day which we have all spent together, here in this place of Tupac. That name, place can be changed. For tomorrow you will be going, but be sure that you do not forget these, your less fortunate companions, who will be very far away from you. Okay, that's sort of the thread of it. And then there's this kind of a song, again, sadness due to departure, evident in another song collected in 68. The first part of the song is not included here, it's very long. It expresses pity for the main character, Bungayan, the child of Butindi, who has wasted her youth on soldiers in order to repay her father's debt. The portion included here has Bungayan expressing her sadness and apprehension as she bids her companions in the girls' dormitory, the agamang, as they call it, the singles' dormitory, goodbye, farewell, because she's leaving for America. Indeed, to the Ifugao, separating from one's longtime companions of kin and friends is a very painful experience. So here is the song. Indeed, all of you now, all of you who are my friends, all you my relatives in this girls' dormitory, all you who are gathered here, please do not be overly pained. Whenever you remember your dear friend and companion, your dearest friend, Ugayan. For I'm going away to a very distant place, a faraway hamlet over in America. But what if perchance, when I do indeed return, and no one, not one of you will be able to recognize this face of mine from before? Because you've forgotten me. So all of you gather around, my companions, my dear friends, today, right here, now, for it is truly you indeed who are close to me.